Captain Bruno Fernandes is back for Manchester United after suspension in the previous round of the UEFA Europa League. Welcome to the United Hot Sport. My name is Webb. Here is the early team news ahead of our game against PAOK at home. And it's one of those really crucial games. Of course, we've had a fine share of Ruben van Nistelrooy in the Carabao Cup. We've seen him in the Premier League. Now we are taking it to Europe. Of course, his interim spell will be an exciting one. He will at least have tested every bit of the action across all the competitions Man United is competing in. Let's get it. Now, listen, here is the early team news. Of course, we do know that we've got quite a number of injuries. And yeah, I know most of you are hoping that we get a major boost, especially in the middle. I don't know how you rate this one, but Mason Mount returned to full training. That's the big update. That was yesterday. He did train with the team. So, we should be happy about it. He's another option for Ruben van Nistelrooy. You never know what he can offer. Of course, we've never been convinced by Mason Mount and what he adds to this team, but this is under a new manager. Maybe Ruben van Nistelrooy, in the few games he will be in charge, he will figure out how to make use of him. Probably even show us a different side of him that can come in handy for the incoming head coach, that is Ruben Amorim. But he's a Champions League winner, so certainly our Champions League winner is back into the squad to bring that added experience to the team. We are hoping that he could be 100% fit to make the squad. Remember, Ruben van Nistelrooy had to cope with a few names to try and add to the numbers in the middle using youngsters Jay Fitzgerald and Jack Fletcher, who completed the squad. But of course, with the senior team now in the Europa League, they will need to be added to the B list to feature. To be able to feature this week for Manchester United. But listen, of course, people were asking me whether we are going to welcome back Kobbie Mainoo. Not yet. I told you Mainoo is most likely going to be back for the game against Leicester City in the Premier League on the 10th of November. But Bruno is back in the Europa League to boost the squad. Remember, he has been on a good run, 3 goals in the past 2 games. I probably feel it's good. When Bruno is confident and happy and excited, he's different. He's a whole different elephant because he has got the most goal contributions in the English Premier League, 435. And he's so many of them had chances created, rather, not goal contributions. Chances created. Of course, chances created do not necessarily turn into goals, but he has created over 430 chances. Only Kevin De Bruyne with about 350 something is behind him. So he's an important player for Manchester United, and seeing him return to form is always a good a place to be for Manchester United. But listen, for Manchester United against PAOK, as we preview the game, and of course we'll preview it more. This is a Thursday game we're talking. It doesn't matter who is available. Listen, against a team placed 30th in the 36 team standings in their Greek championship, honestly, they've got only 1 point after a 2-2 draw against Victoria Pleasant. Really, guys, really, this is a team Man United should be able to beat. And it doesn't matter whether this is just their domestic form that is not good and this is the continent. Listen, Manchester United should be feeling confident. This is one of those games where we expect a worse obliteration than that we gave to Leicester City in the Carabao Cup. For me, there is no headaches about this game. And seeing the energy, the intensity that even Mazraoui alluded to, that Ruben van Nistelrooy has brought into the squad, you clearly know and see that this is one of those teams we need to punish properly so that the final game against Leicester City perhaps comes when we are in the rhythm, we are in the flow, we are up for it. For me, it's going to be an important one, really. And I do know for a fact that for the players, especially Leandro Garnacho, this is an opportunity to redeem himself, because imagine after the poor performance, or the poor attitude mostly, it's not even just the performance, the poor attitude that Leandro Garnacho showed in our draw against Chelsea. If he comes up and shows up against PAOK, many of us will forget about the poor performance. You know how we are as Man United supporters. One bad game will take you for dinner. One good game, you're the best in the land. We've seen it with Casemiro and a few others. So I think for me, this could be an opportunity. I also know for a fact, ideally, if it were up to me, Alejandro Garnacho should be the player resting, making way for Amad Diallo. But most likely it won't happen yet again. Ruud van Nistelrooy, just like Erik ten Hag, seems to be insistent on starting this youngster and later on playing him the whole 90 minutes, regardless of how poor he's performing. So you probably get a sense that he will still start in this one, but we're only hoping that he's going to make a good case for himself because, trust you me, after the game tonight, Ruben Amorim will certainly be concentrating a lot more on Man United and how we do perform because his body, he is at Sporting right now, but trust you me, his mind and heart is in Manchester. So all players should know that. Otherwise, if a coach comes with a conceived image of you, seen from the games they have watched, not liking your body language and stuff, it's never going to be a good start for you. It's always going to be a difficult way for you to redeem yourself. The only beauty with Alejandro Garnacho is that he's young, and he has got he's seen as an academy boy. Of course, he's not entirely from fully from our Man United academy, but we view him as an academy boy because I mean he was brought in young. But for me, I think his attitude has got to change so that Ruben Amorim inherits a player with a good attitude. That's what we need because honestly, the future of Man United is revolving a lot around kids like Garnacho, kids like Kobe, like Leny Yoro, kids like Ahmad. These kids need to have the good attitude. Ahmad Diallo has got it right. Even when he comes off the bench, you can see he's happy. I think for him it was all about Erik ten Hag leaving, and the moment Erik ten Hag left, probably he felt like he had that he felt happy. And I've said it consistently before, even from my chance to peep at him at Carrington when he was driving in with, I don't know whether his auntie or whoever, the lady who was driving him into Carrington, you saw his body language that Ahmad wasn't happy. But after Erik ten Hag left, he's always coming on with a smile on his face. And of course, you see it even in how he plays, the expression and all, which you'll have to see from a young player. But Garnacho has got to work on his attitude. Otherwise, I'll tell you, things will not be good for him in the new Sir Jim Ratcliffe era. So that's where we are. But guys, I do need you to focus, guys. Focus. It's just about 1 hour and 36 minutes to kick off of that important game between our own Ruben Amorim against the rival in blue, Manchester City. Guys, it's an important game. Never mind uh, the managers, of course, playing mind games over each other. Of course, for Ruben Amorim, he was probably honest in referring to Pep Guardiola as the best manager today in the world. But Amorim, Pep Guardiola responds by saying he actually thinks he's a better manager than him. He's saying, he's a better manager than him, which is, I think, a mind game clearly. Of course, Pep is only trying to be humble. But listen, the last meeting between the two teams ended in a goalless affair. After, in the first encounter, he had been obliterated 5-0, Pep winning that. So it's certainly going to be an interesting game that you don't want to miss for the world. So watch the game and get an idea of how Man United is going to look in the new era. It's today is 5th. We've got 5 days to go. 5 days to Ruben Amorim. Listen, you need to be good for this. You need to be ready for this. Enjoy that game later on. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe. And let me catch you later, fam. Peace, love, and harmony. Cheers.